Yo, what is up, 24/7 Buff Bandemonium? It's your boy Swank. It's Tuesday. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That can only mean one thing, kids. It's time for the K-Gun Report, brought to you by Buff Fanbase and 26 Shirts. We'll get more into that into a minute. Guys, big, stupid loss this last weekend. We're going to talk about it. We were here for you. It's Therapeutic Tuesday on the K-Gun Report. We're also going to pregame this Jets game coming up on Monday night. Listen, sky's not falling. We want to take all your questions, all your comments. It's me and my guy Scott. We might get a little Jarrod in a little bit, but we're going to hit the intro and we're going to do all the right things. Here we go. Here we are, and here it is on a beautiful Tuesday. What's up? I'm Swank, like I said, right over here next to me, my boy, Scoot Magoot, Scott. What do you got, buddy?
It's therapy time. I think we all need to talk about it, so we will. Welcome, Bills Mafia. Let's get to the comments.
Tuesday side, dude.
Yeah, it's Tuesday side. Get the cracking. Let's do it.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Guys, like I said, we're part of the Buff Fanbase Network. Super proud to be also sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com and see what Del Reed and the game got going on. I always say to go to the website, go to social media and stuff too, man. Del Reed has got a great tweeters account. Yeah, they're always coming out with great designs. It's helping out a Western New York family in need. It's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win. Win-win. Yeah, we got a lot we want to talk about tonight here. This 2-game slide we got going on, it's not very cool. There's a lot of people that are coming after McDermott's head. I want to talk a little bit about that. I want to talk about what went wrong, maybe what went right in this game here a little bit, and then we'll focus our energy on the dumpster fire that is the New Jersey Jets. Not understanding what they did today, but we'll talk all about it. I'll tell you what, Scooter, we're going to hit these comments, see where the night takes us that way. What do you think?
Let's do it. I like those shows.
We got our guy Patrick Hughes saying, "What's up, all? What's up, Patrick?" We got Lori Eli's mom saying hi, everyone. We will have Eli's winning lockdown tonight, premiered on the K-Gun Report. We got our guy, Corey Blaine. What's up, Bills Mafia? Ready to figure out a way to fix this team.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Some of that might have to do with wide receiver. Some of that might have to do with coordinators. Let us know. Put it in the comments. Vent it out. You got to get it out. Just get it out.
Yeah, this is just as much your show as this ours, guys. So
that's right.
Let's have it.
John Johns, our thirst for a win at this time. Oh man, that's like so poetic. Mm-hmm. That's like something Jack Frost would write. John Johns, what's up, brother? Thank you for being on the show tonight. We got Patrick Hughes saying, sorry if I am not as active tonight. If I bail early, getting ready for another hurricane. Yeah, brother. Our boy Patrick is down in Florida. We got another one going at the state. So we're thinking of you, brother. And if you need any SpaghettiOs, we can send some cases down, some rations. Hell, Scott and I might just drive them down. We'll see what happens. But
hell yeah, I've had 2 things of SpaghettiOs and they've lost both games, so I got a case of them right now. I might just put a stamp on it and send it your way.
Maybe it's who eats the SpaghettiOs.
Yeah, that's probably it.
That's it, dude. We got Adam saying, "What's up, Bills Mafia? What's up, Swank, Scott, and Jarrod?" Jarrod is tending to his kitties. We're hoping that he'll join us shortly, but you might just have, one twin and a fake twin. You might have that going on tonight. Happy gig on Tuesday. Another tough loss. I do think we will bounce back. I agree, man. I saw a stat today. Josh Allen's 6-0 after a 2-game losing streak. So here, knock on some wood. Like I said, we're going to fix all the world's problems tonight. I can't wait.
And they got pay close attention to that stat. 6-0. That means they've only lost 2 games in a row 6 times in Josh Allen's 7-year career. That number speaks volumes, I think.
We got Eli saying, hello, Bills Fandemonium. What's up, Eli? Can't wait to see your lockdown. Dude, I never, Jarrod sends it or tweets it. I'd never watch it until it hits the show. I always want to be surprised. So I can't wait to see it tonight. Your prediction with William Matar actually is slayed. It was awesome. Great job, dude. John Johns, good evening, everyone. Time for some clock management training. Yeah, Scott, what do you think about this, man? It looked like we had an avenue to get to overtime. It looked like we had a little bit of momentum. Looked like we were kind of trending in a positive direction. The defense came out and made a good stop. There's the intentional grounding. They just had to run the clock out.
Yep.
And it's kind of more of the same of what I saw, but we'll get into that. But what do you think about this, man?
Overtime should have been the goal. In the first play, it didn't seem like it. I understand sometimes a pass takes longer than a run, but you got to give yourself the option of not having to throw the ball down the field 30 yards. I would have done some hitches. I'd have done some quick slants, something. I wouldn't send someone down 30 yards down the field. What are you going to get? You still got to complete another 30-yard pass after that.
Yeah.
I'd have played for overtime. I'd have ran the ball 3 straight times because you know what that also does? It also gives the punter some room to punt.
Yeah.
And clock still runs off. So, and they still would have had to use their timeouts. So I'm not sure what McDermott was thinking. I'm not sure if it was a call made by Joe Brady. I'm not sure where the goof up happened, but McDermott's getting a lot of pressure for that one. And you got to play for overtime. You got the ball at the 2-yard line with seconds left. Play for overtime. The Bills defense was doing their job. The momentum was on our side. And we do something like that. Nuts. Crazy.
I think the frustration with McDermott at this point is that this isn't the first time he's made a decision like this in the coaching time management wheelhouse that has blown up in the Bills' face and resulted in a loss. And I can see that being frustrating. I also tell you, man, anytime the dude throws a challenge flag this year, I'm 100% behind him. It's the first time I could ever say that. Whoever they hired up there, that expert, he knows his stuff. When they didn't challenge that bobble by Kincaid on the sideline, I mean, there definitely was not enough there to ever overturn it. It moved when he hit his hands. It moved when he hit the ground. I mean, I was fine with him not challenging that. He shored that up. He's a methodical person. He puts a process in place. I don't see this being something that's going to plague the Bills or cost a championship. I
Swank,
just
on that challenge call, I agree 100%. I had super slow-mo, and I put it in slow motion. He did bobble the ball, and even if his toes are still touching at that last second, it was smart not to call it because in this case, it was called an incomplete pass, so there would have had to been enough evidence to prove otherwise, which is impossible in the NFL unless it's right glaring in your face. So I thought that was a good no call. He is getting a lot of rap for that, but I think it was a good no call, waste of flag.
Yeah. Doug says, "What's up, everyone? Anybody got a mojo fixer? Thank God it's Tuesday. It's right here, Doug, right there."
To be specific,
good to see you, brother. Yes, there you go, a little day burner. Before we get off the get rid of McDermott train here, and I want to hear what everybody thinks. I'm not there. I'm never there. I watched some stuff. If you know me at all, after a loss, man, I'm tuned out. I haven't listened to WGR. I haven't spent a lot of time on Twitter. It'll take me till about Thursday, probably, to get back into it, where all of this is kind of washed, and now they're looking forward. I did a little digging, did a little stat crunch. And again, Bills Mafia being who Bills Mafia is, and very passionate, and a little quick to pull the trigger on certain things. A lot of people calling for his job. I'm not there, and I'll tell you why. I went and I looked up some stats. The highest win to loss percentage in the history of the Buffalo Bills. Do you know who it is?
McDermott,
0.639. Do you know what Marv Levy is? 0.615. Would you have called for Marv Levy's head ever? Even before he retired, would anybody have been like, get this guy out of here? No, not me, man.
Nope.
Sean McDermott is this generation's Marv Levy to me. Maybe that's a bold statement. I'm not trying to be some homer, but he is the hero that we needed, there's so much good that has come from this man and this team and the culture he's cultivated, that if you go back in time to the first 3 games of the season, nobody was saying anything about this. I think there's a lot of factors that are in place right now. And yes, he is in control of the team. Yes, he has some of the blame to carry, for sure. Joe Brady, I think, needs to open up the playbook a little bit more. And I think they need to sit down, my Lord and Savior, Josh Allen, and tell him to start taking what the defense is giving him again. That was we were going to do a make Bass automatic again hat. I want to make Josh Allen take what the defense is giving him again hat. I don't know, from the very first snap of that game, I don't know what was going on. He was leaving the little 5-yard checkdowns. He was leaving anything that was open and easy. You damn near could go on the all-22 at every single offensive play and see that there was a guy that would have chunked him out 5, 6, 7, 8 yards, and he wanted nothing to do with it. He wanted bombs all day. And I think what's going on with this wide receiving core, like, it's garbage, blah, 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 all this stuff. He's going back to hero bomb ball, man. And we don't have, you're right. We don't have the guys for that. You have Curtis Samuel, who you've been using as like hands tied behind his back, Isaiah McKenzie type, kind of, I don't know. Those bombs that you've been throwing to Hollins, that should be Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel should be running those go routes.
Right.
So these kind of things, I think where we're at, the play calling is getting a little too cute. Josh is getting a little too desperate to prove a point, and we're not at where we were week 1, 2, and 3 with that poised quarterback that is just matured, taking what the defense is giving him. I think Baltimore hurt his brain a little bit, and he was out. He was out for some kind of revenge this week to prove a point, and he ended up hurting it. more than proving it.
Throwing under 33%. I mean, that was a horrible combination of a bunch of things. And you said Joe Brady needs to open up his playbook. I think even if he just turned a page and looked at the other page, he would find a lot more plays on there. There were a lot of left open plays, like you said, Swank, a lot of stuff under the middle. I was complaining the whole game is, why are we going deep? Why are we going deep? And I watched the L22, and I was like, there are drags coming across, crosses coming across that are open. I don't know why he's not taking them. I want to say, and I hate to build in excuses for quarterbacks, but I think with the amount of screenplays that are being called subconsciously, and this is a thing, Josh Allen feels like he's throwing the ball short all the time, so he wants to stretch it when he can.
Yeah.
That's not the case. I think and that could happen for real. So stop with the screenplays to the receivers, introduce a screenplay every once in a while to the running back, and then let Josh be Josh Allen. You need to stop having his mindset throwing it 2 yards downfield or 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage to where he's getting antsy and wants to spread it out. So I think that's playing a big role, to be honest.
Yeah, I think, he's used to putting the team on his back.
Yep.
We've talked about it for 7 years. He's been Superman, and he started doing that again in this game towards the end where it made sense to start doing that.
Yep.
And then he went too far again. He just went way over the top. And if they had 3 passing play call bombs for those last 3 plays before they punted it away and lost the game, that was horrible. That was bad play calling. But maybe it wasn't all bombs. Maybe there was guys that were underneath.
No, there
was every single play, like every offensive play, there was a guy. Every passing play, there was a guy that was between 3 to 7 yards out that was open every single time, and he didn't want it. And it's, I don't know. It completely flips that whole script that we were talking about. Like, this is the dude, this is the year, this is like, he's seeing everything. He doesn't need to do that, and he's doing it because he feels cornered, because I think, like I said, I think Baltimore really got in his head. They couldn't do anything they wanted to do, and they didn't adapt well.
Until the second half, when they started putting stuff together, but then they had that trick play that kind of bit him in the ass.
Yeah.
Swank, do you think it's a Shakir thing? I know he trusts Shakir so much that with him not in the game, we didn't see the Shakir type plays being done. And that's where I think Curtis Samuel should have come in and taken care of that position.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, he could stretch the field, but he should have played Shakir's role. And it's almost like a confidence thing in Samuel. He didn't utilize him. Yeah.
I think that would have been a great way to do it. If they're not like interchangeable right there. I mean, Curtis Samuel's super athletic, and you really haven't gotten him in space a whole lot. Like you said, these little screens, these little quick slants, like, get him out in space. That's what we say. James Cook was probably, aside from the linebacking core, like the only bright light that I can really see from this last Sunday. James Cook is as advertised. What happened was the plays going to James Cook started to get really predictable, really lame, right up the gut. I like that they didn't get away from the run there in the second half. When they got within striking distance, perfect. Play your game. You're down 3 or what? Like, play your game. Yeah, run all over them. You're running all over them. But then just stupid decisions and stupid. It just and in a spot where you weren't trying to like quickly score. You kind of wanted to milk it down. They could have drove that thing all the way down there and either tied it up or scored and won.
Yep.
And that calmness wasn't there. That, like, I don't know what to even call it, like that sense of control, that sense of like confidence. It just wasn't there. It was like,
I think you found the word's control. I think there's a lot of out of control. I don't see Josh calling audibles. I don't think he has any. I hate to say it. I don't think he has hardly any control of that offense. I think he's playing the plays that are called.
Mm-hmm.
And a 7-year quarterback should be kind of being able to audible.
That's a mistake. If he's not able to do the things that he can see and do well, there's nothing wrong with Josh Allen. Like, the way he plays, there is nothing wrong with it. And if he can get a play caller in there that he believes in and can do it, and I'm not trying to start any crap, it's 2 losses. I don't think that this is Dorsey by any means, but everybody's got to be comfortable. And this whole everybody eats thing, Josh is included in that.
Yep.
Josh doesn't have to just be the guy dealing the cards. Like he can do things that nobody else in the game can do.
Yeah, he's not just a chef.
Let him do it. Yeah.
Right. Here's a shocking statistic, and this is where I'm going with the whole where you've mentioned Curtis Samuel not being utilized. Shakir gets 12 yards a catch. Coleman's almost at 20, which is impressive. He's making the most out of his opportunities. A guy that should be spreading the ball out and creating a lot of yak that he's been known for in the past without a quarterback, and now he's got a quarterback in Curtis Samuel right now. 9 catches for 48 yards on the season.
Yeah. We're a quarter of the way through.
We're a quarter of the way through, and that is a guy that they spent money on for 3 years to bring in to be the difference maker, to help either be number 2 or number 3, and all they're doing is screens to him. That's all they're doing. That's glaring.
They're using him like they used Stephon Diggs after week 8.
After week 8, yep.
You know, I don't know. This could be some of the immaturity of Joe Brady as far as a play caller goes too, as far as not having the reins and this being your first year. It just seemed like they were so dominant those first 3 weeks, like just so absolutely dominant. There was no answer. And now it's like the team knows their playbook, knows their button, and they're just not changing it up. They're not adapting. They're not whatever. How about a pitch out? How about, something different, something that's going on? And again, man, you get a guy like James Cook out in space, he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Ty Johnson, same thing. I don't know. I think there just needs to be a little more variety going on. And Hollins is a great off-field story, but I'm with the majority on this. He's not a starting caliber wide receiver for this team right now. And maybe he was getting more touches because Shakir was out and whatever. And do you have any idea how long that's for?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I hope it's not long.
Me too, man.
Dr. Bruce, where you at? The thing is, I honestly I don't think Hollins is being used correctly, though.
Yeah.
I honestly don't. In Sunday sessions, I was talking about Hollins as an opportunity to create like a Keon Coleman on the sidelines. Those two back shoulder catches that Keon had against the Ravens is something that I think Mac Hollins can do on the opposite side, but opportunity was never brought upon. So I think they're not utilizing it. I think they are trying too hard to make him a Shakir type wide receiver when he's not.
Yeah.
He should be on the outside edge creating a one-on-one matchup. And I'm talking about 50-50 balls going up and get it kind of guy, not someone that's going to do a skinny post or a deep drag across the middle of the field. I don't think he's being utilized correctly.
Yeah, I agree. It seems so simple to like just play to players' strengths. I know it's complicated. I know there's only 32 people that have an OC job in the whole entire NFL. Mm-hmm. So it's not like, I'm sitting here being like, well, but it just feels like it would be so much easier to like play to their strength. You know what it feels like right now, man? It feels like those times when Dable was getting too cute, when he was like, they'd expect us to do the thing we do well, so we're going to do the thing we don't do well. Or we're going to give it to this guy where they would expect us to give it to this guy, and this guy can't do what that guy does, but they'll never see it coming. Or, they're going to expect us to run 3 times and try and get the clock down before we punt it and go into overtime. So we're going for it all. Like, no, man. Like
40-yard bombs, man. Let's do it.
Play your game. Don't play into their game. Play your game. That's all I've ever wanted from a Bills team. And
Swank, I mentioned before, our high school team, no matter what coach we had going through in high school, it was always, we'll run the 4 same damn plays, but we're going to run it so well that they have to defend it to a certain point where they got to stop us. We're going to tell them what we're going to run, and they're going to have to stop us. That's exactly what you're saying. Let's run our style. Let's run our offense. Make them stop us the way we do things successfully. And I think you're trying to be too cute saying, well, that's what we're expecting, so let's do something else. Don't do something else. Stop doing something else. We're 3-2 trying to do something else. Go back to our 3-0 ways.
Yep, I like it. How Harold Fuller. They hired a challenge coach. Now they need to hire a timeout or end of the game coach. I agree, dude. I absolutely agree. You're 100% right. That's so
I'm
far.
not going to argue that either. No.
There's a lot of great comments coming through, but that is
Yeah.
comment of the night right now. Adam, McDermott is definitely not getting fired, and I wouldn't fire him either. Hell yeah, dude. Holy Jesus. Mike's still 20 or 13 minutes behind on comments. I don't think he deserves it. You know, I know that there's it's weird. It's like there's this generation of content creator or armchair GM that doesn't remember the pain of the drought, that doesn't remember the pain of the Super Bowls, that doesn't remember the parade of loser coaches we had come through this place.
Yeah.
That, you know, is this what we want? You know, here we go. I got the list, man. I love it. After Marv Levy, Wade Phillips, probably one of the best that came to do it. Don't talk to Mark about it. He hates Wade Phillips for good reason. 2 years. And he was 29-19, a .604 win to loss percentage. So he on this list is the third best. He was here for 2 years with a winning record, and then they went to Greg Williams, who was 17-31, 2 years gone. Mike Mularkey, 04-05, 14-18, gone.
I'm so glad you're bringing this up.
Dick Duran.
Let's not forget. Our memory's short.
Yeah.
Guys. Let's not forget who we
Write all this down, kiddies. I'm not stopping until we get to McDermott.
And I'm not building an excuse. He's been there for 8 years.
I
would have liked McDermott to at least brought us to 2 Super Bowls. He's been there for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not getting us to the playoffs, and he's not getting us more times than not prepared to play the teams. Our only losses, guys, let's not forget, our only losses until against the Ravens were average under 6 points a game. We weren't losing by hardly anything at all. So, I mean, that stat speaks volumes as well. I mean, you can't.
Dick Duran, 24-33. He got fired. Perry Fowell. Yeah. He was 3-4. Then it went to Chan Gailey. Drought Darling. Everybody liked Chan enough, but he was 16-32.
Yeah.
Then it went to our good buddy Doug Marone, under 500, 15-17. And then to the likes of Rex Ryan, who again 15-16. Anthony Lynn took over for one game and was 0-1. And then welcome to the McDermott era, 2017 to right now, 2024, 119 games coached, 76-43. No, I don't want him to leave. And I think, you know, it's, what are we looking for? Like, I know what we're looking for. How do these people who think that we should get rid of McDermott think we should go about doing this? Because the way I see it and the way I hear it is that just get rid of him and get a guy that can do it, because wow. And I just named,
get an offensive minded head coach in there is what they're saying.
Okay. Chan Gailey.
Yep.
16,
honestly,
32.
He's one of my favorite, other than Ted Marshall. Was Ted Marshall the offensive coordinator? I can't remember.
No.
But Chan Gailey was one of my favorite offensive coordinators here for Buffalo, and we still could not, or coaches, offensive-minded coaches, and we still could not find a way to win.
There's so much that goes into it that, you know, you're talking draft class, depth, free agency. The culture is the thing that really changed this whole thing. Marv built a culture here. He got all those dudes that were infighting to band together and build a culture that people wanted to come to and play. It just it's nuts to me. The answer to me isn't get rid of this guy that's getting us into the playoffs consistently every year, because he's not quite pushing us up over the top. We're closer to where we want to be with him than we would be rolling the dice on some other guy coming in here. Like, you know, do any of you guys out in the comments think Belichick is the answer? I don't want Belichick here. Like, I wouldn't want Belichick here. He's not what he was. We found out he wasn't what he was in New England because he couldn't maintain a depth chart without Tom Brady there. You know,
and he's a defensive-minded head coach.
And he's a defensive-minded head coach. So I don't know. That's my little thing about all this. I get a little bit like, I think, like, to me, the error of all of it and a lot of the stuff that I've seen, it's like, well, he just got to go. Like, he's got to. Like, what you're like, the tone. I'm huge on tone. If you guys don't know this, man.
Yeah.
But the tone is like, you're an idiot if you think he should stay, because look at what he's done these half dozen times to screw us out of games.
Yep.
And I'm looking at the other 70 games that he's won, or whatever. Like, it just, I don't know. That's my beef on it.
Well, you're mentioning let's just let him go, bring someone else in. You got to understand, and most people do, when you bring a new head coach in, you bring in a whole offensive and defensive mindset. Scheme changes regardless. You could have a head coach come in that's a 3-4 defense. Our defense is screwed if we go 3-4 defense.
Yeah.
You get a guy that comes in and wants to do a West Coast defense, or wants to offense, or just wants to run the ball like the Ravens do. I mean, obviously there's a hiring process and you bring in whoever you can, but you don't just go out and say, okay, this guy's here, now we replace him. It's a process. And when that process is made, it then becomes another process. Do we want another 5-6 year process with the talent we have now? Because Josh Allen will be retired, and this new head coach will have to, in the next 3-4 years, try to draft a quarterback, because he's a new head coach and he wants the guy he wants. So there's a lot more that comes to this than just.
Yeah. Josh Allen it should be nearing like the prime of his career, right? Like right now, like he should be playing the best ball that he's ever played. And getting better and better and better. And I guarantee you, now that we've hit that year 7 mark, right? And he can see, like, okay, maybe it's not quite half of his career, but it's getting close. You take the head coach out of here that he's known the whole time he's been here, and you start rebuilding. Like, you might get away with it one time. So you better hit on that coach, and they better just sing you right into the Super Bowl. Because if it's the 2-year cycle that we lived for all those years, every 2 years, new quarterback, every 2 years, new coach, every 2 years, new, like, if you get to that where you're like, okay, oh, well, that didn't work out. Next guy, guess what? Josh Allen isn't going to want to play here. Like, as much as he loves Buffalo, as much as I bet he wants to stay here and retire here, all that, you start doing that carousel like we had for them 17 years, man.
Pretty sure he wants to win a Super Bowl, Swank.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want him to do it here.
Yep.
So to me, the parts outweigh the sum here. And like, there's a winning culture here. There's a way to fix it. They've shown it. Last season, look at the trail they left last season, and the position they were in. The Jags had to lose. We had to win. You went from being like the 6th or 7th seed to the 2nd, like, it just, all that drama and craziness. There's
6-6 to the 2nd seed.
Yeah, yep. Exactly. So 3-2, nothing is marked. We're all good. I do like this right here, Chris Christian. McD's coaching reminds me of Josh's play at times, usually top notch, but occasionally does some boneheaded decision. And yeah, man, I think you got to live and die with it, right? Absolutely.
Yep.
Marianne Calabrese is wondering how bad Josh is banged up. Hand had a glove, but not taped. Fingers, he banged his back last week, and then chest and head. Yeah, I think the big thing was he racked his head off the turf there towards the end. A little bit of must have been the same consulting neurosurgeon that Tua had that one game where they said he didn't have a concussion, because, boy, it sure looked like he was.
I'll be honest. I think he should have set out that series. We got that turnover.
Probably.
He should have set out at least that series. I mean,
yeah.
What are you going to gain? What are you going to gain? I mean, they put him in there to try to score a touchdown. We only kicked a field goal. We could have got a field goal with Trubisky.
Yeah. And if you were going to do it, they could have put him in when they put Trubisky in. like they could have done it that series. Like they didn't have. I think they waited one, and then they put him in again, right? And it was like, I don't even think he had to sit out that one play. I think they had already ran a play and got the first down. Am I right?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. I remember thinking at the time, like, if you were going to put Josh in and he didn't have to sit out, then why was Trubisky in at all? And I know he had to go in for one play at least.
Well, he wasn't cleared yet.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That could be it too.
Yeah.
Man, you guys are killing it right now. Holy, I'm at 8:13 and we're at 8:34. So love you guys, but I'm fast forwarding a little bit here.
Kicking ass in the comments, by the way, guys. Loving it.
Funny.
I'm looking at the viewership, 922, and we're only halfway through. Guys, this is your show. Welcome to therapy. We're talking about it. And hopefully Swank and I can pursue you to be excited for this Jets game coming up.
Yeah, I think so. Guys, it is 8:34. There's 924 of you watching right now. And as Scooter said, man, killing it in the comments. Sorry I had to skip through a little bit of center mass here. Patrick says, Swank, do me a favor, put the Eli video on the Fantasy Shack chat because I got to go. See you all for Sunday sessions. Hell yeah. Patrick, dude, stay safe, stay right, man. And absolutely, I'll dump that right in the chat for you, my man.
Patrick's down there in Florida, so stay safe, brother, like Mike said.
Hell yeah. Yeah, let's change gears, man. Wait, before we do, one positive thing from Sunday. Go.
The guy that has no speed and can't create separation, one catch, limited opportunities, 49-yard touchdown run, knew how to find the end zone. We need to provide that more. I think Keon Coleman is a great answer for the replacement we need for wide receiver, but he needs to be given the opportunities. I like what I saw to Keon. I'm ignoring that pass the head. That was Keon not catching a ball. It was just Keon not understanding the play or Josh Allen calling. It looked like he wanted to block. So I don't know if it was a run originally called and Keon didn't get the memo saying, hey, we're going to do a quick slant because the opportunity presented itself.
Yep. Absolutely. Adam says the Tampa Bay Bucks in 2003 did it. Dungy to Gruden.
That's a case of Gruden getting a team that was loaded.
Adam, you're absolutely right, dude. But I want you to look at what you wrote, and I want you to look at the year. And that's the last time that you can remember. 21 years ago.
Tampa Bay did it.
Eli was asking about score predictions yet. Not quite yet, buddy. We're going to talk a little bit about this game. And then absolutely, I got your video all locked and loaded. Eli's winning lockdown coming up here in the next 15 minutes, I'll say.
Yeah. Thanks for the stat, though, Adam. It was nice thanks for bringing that up. We know the last time it happened.
Yeah. Dwayne Hyde against Houston. Josh was not good, and our receivers were terrible. I counted 6 drops at least. You're not wrong, dude. I think Josh's stats looked really bad there because of a lot of the bombs, but I'm going to say the bombs looked more on target this year than they did last year. I think they hit hands on a lot of these passes, and his receiving core really let him down. And I hope they all, own up to that in the meetings and all that stuff.
You bring in. Sorry, Swank.
No, go ahead. I was just going to say they just couldn't get anything going. Go ahead.
You bring in 6'4", 220-pound wide receivers. You're not looking to beat everybody with speed. You're looking for the 50-50 ball. And Swank, the fact that thanks for bringing it up, Dwayne. Swank, 50-50 balls. That's what it's all about. He's given them the opportunity. Yeah. How those balls are more accurate and more able to be caught with that 50-50 percentage is because they're not interceptions. He's putting them in spots where the defense can't get to them. So, great point. Love that point. His wide receivers aren't holding up right now.
Yep, absolutely. Eli thinks number 51 for the Texans needs to be fired. He gave Allen and I think concussion. Yeah, I mean, apparently he cleared Eli, but it's nuts because, boy, it sure looked like a concussion to me. I've had a couple myself. I worked in a rough job for a while. I came out with 4, and it sure looked like one to me. Yeah. But who knows? I'm not a doctor. Scott's the closest thing we got, and he's been drinking. So
I am a nurse. I have seen concussions. I have seen head injuries, and he was concussed, but I'm not the guy in the tent on the sidelines.
Yep. All right, guys. For me, my one thing, linebacker play. I said it in the hold on one second. The Overdue Bills podcast. They aired right before us, right here on the Buff Fanbase Network. I think the linebacking core really getting Bernard back. Dorian Williams is a guy, man. He's in there making plays. Led the team in tackles. You know who was a second behind him in tackles, by the way?
No.
DeMar Hamlin.
Oh, there you go.
So there's a little feather in the cap of the defense. I do think that they dug their heels in and they started getting some stuff going. But we haven't really talked a lot about the defensive side of the ball. Eddie Oliver's presence was missed. Taron Johnson's presence continues to be missed. Cam Lewis got smoked by Diggs a couple times, just like we predicted in Sunday sessions.
Dwayne Carter showed up.
Dwayne Carter did show up. He did show up. He made the most out of his opportunities. Super stoked about that guy.
Yep.
I want to see more blitz packages. There's just not enough. I know you're trying to create pressure with that 4-man front, but you're letting these quarterbacks that are gifted have too much time in the pocket, and I'm sick of it. I think they need to start sending people.
Yeah, you got to create a blitz that has one guy free and not like chipped. The guy can't be chipped. He can't be pushed around. It's got to be one guy set free. Spagnuolo is good for that for Kansas City Chiefs. That's why his defense is so successful. We need to start tying that in and getting that kind of rush. I agree. More blitzes, but hone in on a blitz that is going to make life miserable for a quarterback.
Absolutely. Adam says, if Milano was healthy, we'd be looking solid. I agree, man. I don't think this is that defense's fault, man. You got a lot of pieces in there. Oh, Jesus. Bishop. I was going to say Corey Blaine. Bishop got smoked on that one. That Nico Collins.
Corey, I know. Stop eating the SpaghettiOs and get out there and play your 2-man
zone. Bishop got smoked on that touchdown to Collins. And that was just a case of him not knowing where he needed to be at the time, and that's a rookie mistake. Right. Other than that, it seemed like he played a pretty solid game from what I saw.
It didn't happen again. It didn't happen again.
Did not happen
and
again.
If you see Bishop and Hamlin were within 10 yards of each other, that's how you know it was a blown call.
Yeah.
When he caught the ball, Rasul but Douglas looked back and said, "Where were you?" And those two safeties were within 10 yards of each other. So that was a blown call. Should have never happened, but that's what happens in football games. You need to take advantage of it.
That's it. Ellen Lartz says, has anyone heard when Milano might be back? The earliest I heard, Ellen, is possibly December, like end of December. Maybe for the 49ers game.
I was going to say, I heard potentially. Who's going to that game?
Corey says, shit, I'll go try and play D. We might need you on offense, bro. All right, guys. Let's switch gears. It's 8:41, and we'll hit these takes really quick here on the Jets. Big news out of Jersey today. Salah has got fired for whatever reason. Scott, maybe you feel differently than I feel about this. I think what he's done with the defense, the quarterback play he's had in his little tenure there, 1,001 viewers right now. Thank you so much. You guys are killing it right now. What he's done, Zach Wilson most of the year last year, the year before that, all the, the fact that they have even been any sort of competitive with, a top 3 defense ever since he came into the building. There's one thing that's really different, and that's a guy that kind of got another coach fired under similar circumstances, up in a cold state, throwing picks like crazy, and apparently that's Salah's fault, I guess. I don't know, man. I think Aaron Rodgers is the bigger problem there, but go ahead, man. Floor is yours. What do you think about this firing?
I don't get it either. I mean, maybe the organization and all that stuff is preaching offensive-minded head coach, but this is not – he is not the reason why this team is not successful.
No.
Give him a quarterback. Last year, give him a quarterback that lasted more than 4 plays. I mean, he's had a rough go at it. There's a lot of injuries. Right now, he's got an offensive tackle injured. His number 1 corner is injured, and his number 1 linebacker is injured, and they're still in games. So, I mean –
they were in games last year all year.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This guy's high energy. He knows what he's doing. Is he going to find a head coaching job or a defensive coordinator job next year? Who knows? But it's surprising. I was surprised to see it. And now it's who's the head coach now? Interim coach is Jeff Ulbrich, young guy. I'm not sure how this is going to happen. The offensive coordinator and defensive coordinators are the same people, so it'd be interesting to see if the games turn out the same way. They're going to be kicking themselves in the ass when they realize it wasn't the head coach.
Yeah. I mean, I think the GM can rest assured that he'll be okay. He should be okay. The depth on that team, the rosters on these teams, they are one quarterback with average, slightly below the average play away to being a consistent playoff team, if you ask me.
Yep.
Like, they should have went after Wilson or Fields, and they would have had a smaller payday to have to dish out. They wouldn't be dealing with all of Aaron Rodgers BS. I mean, really, he just drug all that stuff from Green Bay right down there, including the wide receivers that he's been complaining about for the last however many years. I don't know, man. It baffled me a little bit, but same old Jets. That's what made me feel good this morning when I read that. At least we're not the Jets, man.
Snap decisions by the hip decisions. I'm not sure how long the conversation's been going on, but I don't know. Jets fans are probably pissed off too.
Yeah, I would be. Right here, man. I read this too. Adam says Salah wanted to take away playing calling duties or fire Hackett, and surprise, surprise, Salah got fired. So
Hackett's been there a while.
Yeah, but you know who really likes Hackett? Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it's funny how that works. Which is, I'm surprising Hackett didn't get the head coaching job.
Yeah, weird. Very weird. Maybe they just put a young guy in there and they're like, look, the coordinators are going to call the game the way they want to call it. You call timeouts.
Yeah, stand there with the headphones on.
Yeah.
We got someone that can call the red flags. We got somebody that can call the red zone. What the comment earlier that we laughed at, and time management at the end of the game. They got coaches for all that stuff. You just sit there with the headphones on.
Yeah. You know what's gnarly to me? Salah is a young coach. Fired up, energetic, ambitious. So in that timeline, he could have been with that franchise for 25 years. Yep. Right? And whatever. Aaron Rodgers has got one season left after this, maybe, if he pushes it, if he really wants to be a dick and try to beat Tom Brady's record or whatever.
Is he going to make it through this season?
I don't think so.
He's already injured.
They should have benched him. Yep. I think they should have benched him after he threw those two picks. Like a pick six, that's Salah's fault.
But you're right. But you got an aging quarterback that's got 1 year left, or a head coach that could be there
forever
for a very long time.
Yeah, gnarly to me. But again, dumpster fire. So, Scott, with all that being said, with all the problem, we've went through all the problems. We washed all that away on the Bills. We're getting healthier, hopefully. Let's start here, man. The age-old nagging question: what does this Bills offense need to do to right the ship and beat this tough New Jersey Jets defense this weekend? Well, Monday night.
Monday night. Can't wait for it. It's something that you already brought up, Swank. We got Josh Allen has to, and I'm going with Josh Allen here. You threw less than 33% last week, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
You're dubbed as one of the most overrated players in the NFL. You were passing the ball 70% up until this point. Take what the defense is giving you, because this defense will give you stuff. They're just high pressure. There will be holes. There will be opportunity. Take what's given. I want to see the key to the success for the offense is the underneath stuff, not screens. I'm talking about slants. I'm talking about crosses, drags, benches, all that stuff, whatever terminology you want to use. I want to see something like at least 5 or 6 balls caught in between those hash marks in the middle of the field. You do that, you bring these linebackers centrally located, and you're able to complete a lot more of those outside passes, but it needs to start there. So the key to the offense, Josh Allen, hit the middle of the field with at least 6 passes.
I like it.
Attempts. Just attempts. Throw it there.
Yeah.
Show the defense that you're willing to throw it there.
Yeah.
Because you got to keep them honest. And you hear that term used all the time. You got to keep them honest. And I think that's, if you want to beat this defense, you have to do that.
I love it. Lori says this: O-line needs to hold and Allen needs to throw. Lori, I love that take. I will say this: the O-line is holding. Josh needs to get rid of the ball. I know it's not holding for quite as long as it did maybe the first 3 weeks. It is holding long enough for him to make a quick decision. He wants that deep ball. And I love Josh, and I hate this. I hate this. Like, you can ask Scott and Jarrod. This stuff boils my blood. The chats get going crazy. Stuff starts going downhill. I mute all of it because I need to believe that they can pull it out and go. And I just hate all the negative. That's not what we're about. But truthfully, like, he needs to make a decision quicker, and he was. So that's why it's like, things aren't gone. Like, this isn't like panic, crazy times. This is, go back to what you were doing. Just go back to what you were doing. And those opportunities that you want to take those big shots, they'll come. They'll absolutely come. Because if you're cutting them up in the middle of the field and those little short outs and all that stuff, guess what? They stop playing you deep. Then you can run a guy deep. Yep. You know, like you do. You got fast guys here and there. Like, you can send Curtis Samuel deep, and hey man, guy might be wide open. Yeah. You know, again, Tom Brady was not a flashy, crazy athletic, hurdling guys kind of quarterback. He just took what the defense gave him, and he's got an annoying amount of Super Bowls, and he's the best quarterback in history, and blah blah blah. That's what it takes, man. Just playing smart, playing your game, and waiting for it to come to you, and taking what's there. Yep. If you chunk out 5 yards, the next play, guess what? You only got 5 yards to get. You know, like, it's
so like his offense thrived off 2nd and 6 and 3rd and 1s.
Yeah,
his offense thrived off that. He's not going deep. Chunk. Positive yards every time.
And the stats climbed up and all that stuff too. I mean, I know it's not about any of that, but like the consistency and the, you know, like if I was McDermott, I would put this game on repeat in his living room constantly and be like, this is what happens now when you play hero ball over and over and over and over and over and over again. You're just constantly playing catch up from the beginning to the end. Take your shot here and there, but not all the time. You gotta just grind it out, you know.
And the beautiful thing about this is what Swank's saying, guys, is it's not that we haven't seen it. It's not like something that we're asking Josh to do something new. Yeah. He has been doing it. So it's not something he can't do. He's been doing it.
Yeah.
We just want to see it back in the game plan.
Yeah. I think maybe these 2 games had a little bit more stank on them, a little bit more whatever. A bigger opponent, a better opponent. Two of the best teams in the NFL, even though I think the Texans was a very winnable game. Yep. We beat ourselves, so and that's annoying. But other than that, it's early, live and learn, you know. Hopefully it doesn't hurt us too bad in the seedings. So for me, yeah, man, I'll double up on it. Josh Allen. I want Josh to go in there and shoot a shot, man, and make it the first 3 weeks, not the last 2. If we came out of this 4-2 after this tough three game away run here, that would be huge. And I think all would be mostly forgiven.
Yeah.
So
this let's is go a tough 3-game stretch. Everybody's been, even the professionals on ESPN and all that stuff. This 3-game stretch away games is a very tough one.
Yep. Go ahead with the defensive side, man. I don't know. It's really hard for me, you know, even this last week, to pick apart what the defense is doing with the personnel that they have and all this stuff. Like, yeah, I know that Nico Collins one that hurt. But 3 points, I don't 23 points. What do you think, man? What's this defense have to do to slow down an aging, horrible Aaron Rodgers, a coachless Jets?
Well, the thing is I agree with you. And like, we've seen a different kind of defense every week just because of the injuries and who the Bills are bringing. But what I want to see is more of a defensive coordinator kind of situation. Babich needs to dial in a full game. We're 3-0 when he has a full game. We are 0-2, but with a much better, more prepared defense in the second half in those 2 losses. So he's making the adjustments. He really is.
Yeah.
I just want to see a game where he doesn't have to make the adjustments. He's just coming with a game plan based off of what he saw. Guys, we're past that 4-week, 5-week threshold like Jarrod always talks about. It's the preseason still for a lot of these guys that don't play during the preseason, so we're still trying to figure teams out. We're in week 6, so you know tendencies. Let's bring a full game plan defensively and stick to it and be up at halftime and continue just bringing the pressure. We had 14 sacks in the first 3 games, I believe, and now we're stuck at 16. So something's changed. Let's bring the – I know we're playing more mobile quarterbacks, but, yeah, that my key to the game for defense is bring the pressure, but let's stick to a defensive game plan that's effective right off the bat.
I love it. I absolutely love it. For me, man, yeah, I think it's all about pressure. And I think different looks, exotic looks. Dorian Williams is a wrecking ball, man. Send him.
Oh,
let's go. Cam Lewis. I think Taron Johnson used to have blitz packages. Send Cam every once in a while. Like, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm not jotting down every single play every single time, and maybe they're doing a bit of this, but they were absolutely only rushing 4 for the majority of that game this last week, and Stroud just sat back there as comfortable as he could be. And that is not, to me, what this defense is about. So, yeah, for me, I want to see pressure. I want to see it coming from all different angles. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, but I think you can flip a coin to decide what kind of day he's going to have, right? Like, it's either going to be all on or it's going to be 2 picks or whatever. So I think they just need to be physical, do their thing, and my score prediction is going to kind of reflect this. I think your scripted plays might get you a little bit. Other than that, I think this defense is they're going to come in and they're going to put the hammer down on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets.
Well, this is if Aaron Rodgers plays, that's one thing. I know Tyrod Taylor is a mobile quarterback, a backup quarterback. He may be an issue because we've had problems with mobile quarterbacks, but this is a guy that's going to sit in the pocket. You need to bring the pressure. Because after this pass injury, we already know about the Achilles. He can't move all that great. He's injured again. So I would bring the fucking kitchen sink. Pardon my language.
All right, guys, we got 1,125 of you watching right now, and he's been so patient, but all caps right here. When are the predictions? Eli,
Eli's a young buck. It might be close to his bedtime, man.
It's getting there, man. I'm so sorry. We should do the predictions right off the get, and then we'd lose like 3/4 of our viewers.
Why we keep it so long, Eli? We need people to keep commenting.
We're just hanging on. Eli, I got to tell these people about you, man. For people that don't know, our kid in the street, Eli, he's gotten tweeted at by Kyle Brandt. Last week he had William Matar hurt in a car. Call William Matar in his prediction video. He is 3-2 on the season. He does a great job. And guys, back on the K-Gun Report Tuesdays right here. This is week 6, 5, 6, 6.
Yep.
Week 6 of Eli's winning lockdown.
Let's see it, Eli.
Hey, welcome to Eli's Winning Lockdown. This Monday at 8:15 p.m., Bills versus Jets. This one is for all the cookies. We are talking about the number 1 AFC East spot. Prediction 17-10. Shout out to 26 Shirts, official retailer of the Bills Mafia babes. This shout out is for Josh Allen and his team. Tough times don't last, but tough teams do.
Ooh.
Go Bills.
Nice.
And as always, peace.
Peace. Hell yeah, bud.
That's our dude right there, man. Eli, great segment. Oh, I love that.
Smart kid. I mean, he's not going 30 burger or 40 burger and having his team blow out everybody. He's understanding the situation here in Buffalo, and it goes 17-10 against an AFC East rival. That's a legit score prediction. Good job, Eli.
I like it, man. He's not a homer. He's just even keeled. He doesn't waver. I love it. Eli, awesome job, brother.
Good job.
Another solid winning lockdown from our boy Eli. Let's hear it, people in the comments. We'll go keys to game offense, keys to game defense, and then score prediction. And we'll start with you, Scott. What do you got?
So going keys of the game, utilize the middle of the field offensively. Like I said, Kincaid, I don't know if Shakir's back, but you got to find Samuel in the middle of the field rather than screens. Pull those linebackers back within those hashes so you can use those deep balls on the sidelines, those back shoulder catches on the sidelines. But if you're not going to do that, those linebackers can float to the screens and the outside a lot easier. So Joe Brady, tell Josh, hey, listen, take what's given, throw the ball in the middle of the field to dump off passes. Defense, pressure. It's all about the pressure. You got a hurt quarterback right now. You got a team that just lost their head coach. You need to kick them while they're down and just bring in a couple sacks, 5 of them. Do it. We have the defensive line to do it. Dwayne Carter showed out. Let's reward him with a couple. Let's let him eat and get a couple sacks. And my score prediction, I'm going with Eli and bringing it down a little bit. 21-17. It's an AFC East rivalry game, so they're always close. And the Bills and Jets always play kind of ridiculously slow played football game. So Bills win away to end this 3-game away traveling monstrosity that the NFL set up in 21-17.
I like it. Buffalo Spartan says offensive, get back to the basics, defensively pressure and contain. 21-17 Bills.
Boom. That's my prediction, brother. This is Sparta.
French fried taters. Doug says key offense, mix up the run, zone runs, off tackle, edge. I like it, Doug. Absolutely. For me, offensively, man, get Josh back to being Josh. Let's go. Little Dalton Kincaid. You know, Dawson Knox has not been targeted very much at all this season. And maybe throw a little bit of him in there.
5 targets.
Yeah, get Carson, Jesus. Curtis Samuel in the action a little bit. I don't know, man. We got a lot of weapons. The thing that I think the most about what's happening is that it's 1 or 2 weeks where it's proving that national media like mantra that they were saying in the offseason, right? Maybe the wide receiving core isn't top 20, 15, whatever in the league. But there are dudes on this team that know the plays that can make plays. And I think they just need to be put in the right spot. So, balanced attack. Josh, go back to being Josh. Defensively, I love the pressures. Let's go. I want to see some blitzing schemes. Knock old man Rodgers off his ass a couple times. And everybody eats on the defense. How about that? How about we get multiple sacks from multiple positions? That's what I want to see. And constant pressure right up the middle. Hopefully Eddie O can come back. If not, Carter right up the middle, Jones, and make sure that these running backs don't let Aaron get a little bit of cushion. And for me, my score prediction is going to be 24-10. I think we get back, we get right. It's not a blowout, but it is enough of a statement to where the Bills aren't going anywhere and we can all breathe a little easy.
Yep. The easiest way in the playoffs is winning your division. Right now, we have a strong hold on it. You need to take care of these AFC East games.
Chris Christian, 33-16 Bills. My not so bold take are lots of Rodgers tears staining the field. Our boy Corey says, great take, Eli. Offense needs to take what's given. Defense needs to get pressure on the Bills. Bills win 24-21.
Pressure's the theme.
And Corey has also been a really good producer and reminded me of this. Here we go, folks. We're in overtime. That's right. We're in overtime. And that's where we are a little irresponsible and go over our time just a little bit. Buff fan base is a great network and allow us to do that and hang out with you guys. All 1,157 of you.
Boom.
Thanks. Kaka. Adam says Groot with 3 exclamation points.
Yep.
Scott, what's going on with him? He's just getting double teamed all day long.
mobile quarterbacks, I think he's taken more of a responsibility of making sure they're not getting the edge and all that stuff. He hasn't been let loose. And honestly, like I said earlier, it doesn't just go for the offense, it goes for the defense. Bring the game that you're going to bring and make them stop you.
Yeah.
Groot is a pressure specialist. He's got them long ass arms. He can create a lot of pressure. Let him do that. Stop making sure get contained. I mean, you hate to see him lose contain, but we've already seen enough of that. Let him be Groot and get some quarterback sacks.
I like it. Oh, well, guys, here we are, 9:04. I think this has been pretty therapeutic.
I feel better.
I feel a lot better sitting here talking
Maybe
with all of
these,
you.
but who knows?
Yeah, that could do it too. That could absolutely do it. Guys, just don't hit the panic button. We still got a winning record, still sitting on top of the AFC East. This is a big game for us.
Mhm.
It shouldn't be, but it is. And if we're 4-2 after 6, I think everybody will feel a lot easier about it. Scooter, hit us with your final thought, and we'll kick this can down the road, huh? What do you think?
There you go. My final thought was don't hit the panic button, just like you said, Swank. It wasn't long ago, like I said earlier in the show, we were 6-6, barely even the playoff picture, and we made a run because we made adjustments. This is a long season. We're only in week 5. We have all these other games to play, and we have a bye week, and we have people that are injured that are coming back. So no sense in hitting the panic button. We've referenced this plenty of times, the amount of 8-8 teams that back into the playoffs and make the Super Bowl. The Giants are one of those teams, 8-8, and beat the undefeated Patriots. Guys, we're not out of it until the fat lady sings. We're not done until we play, obviously, the last game and we lose. I mean, that's just the way it is. Every team loses that is successful in the NFL except for one, and that's the Super Bowl winner. So until that fat lady sings and until the playoffs are done and we're not there, I'm going to root for our Buffalo Bills and hope that they make the adjustments, the injuries come back, and we play Buffalo Bills football with a Sean McDermott-led football team that he's going to be there a while. Go Bills.
Hell yeah. Go Bills. Oh, guys, I say it almost every week. Enjoy these times, man. They're not going to last forever. Before you blink, 7 years have gone by since Josh Allen stepped into this building. And it's very rare that you get 2 of those guys. So think positive thoughts. Enjoy the games. Enjoy watching what's going on. That doesn't mean sit there and accept all the bad fourth quarter end of the game play calls, but just know that there are other fourth quarter play calls that maybe won't be so dumb.
It should have never gotten to that point, Swank.
That was the point that I was going to make earlier, Scott. I'm so glad, and this might be a little dramatic, but I'm so glad you said that, because the point I was going to make is if you blamed Sean McDermott for the end of the game, it's the same to me as blaming Scott Norwood for what I won't say, because if you say it 3 times, then Beetlejuice appears.
Right.
All right. To me, it should have never got there. It absolutely should have been in our control, and it was well within our control to make better choices and be up and more competitive in that game before the half. So, I'm not trying to be all like, oh, it's this, it's that, and that. Obviously, one was like way more devastating than the other. But, I was wondering if maybe it was in Josh's head a little bit, because that's the first playoff game that he ever played was in that stadium. It's first playoff loss that he ever suffered.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people probably left over on that team or coaching staff from when that happened, but that might have been a little bit of a psyche thing too. And that might have been why he was out there trying to prove something super early as well. So I don't know, just food for thought for the 1,173 of you hanging out. Nice. Listen, you can catch us right here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the K-Gun Report on your favorite streaming platform, part of the Buff Fan Base Network, sponsored by 26 Shirts. That's YouTube, that's Instagrams, that's Facebooks, that's Twitters, that's all that fancy technology stuff that you got there, okay? Also, Sunday sessions will be on an hour and a half before kickoff. This Monday, that would be 7 o'clock. No.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
6:45 would be an hour and a half, but let's go 7
6:40
o'clock.
We'll go 7 o'clock. Okay.
Mhm.
And that'll be myself and Scooter Magoo and Ryan Thomas from the Thomas Takes Sports podcast,
Mhm.
also part of the Buff Fan Base Network. And we give you all of your inactives and your last minute takes and your this and that, really. So hang out with us for that, guys. And man, killed it in the comments.
Hell yeah.
Awesome night. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys being a part of our family, and go Bills.
Real quick, guys, when Keon Coleman scores 3 touchdowns on Monday night, you can join in on Tuesday, the K-Gun Report. Brad Lamb, former Buffalo Bills wide receiver, will be joining us. We could talk all about Keon Coleman. Go Bills!
Man, Brad is challenging Mark for the most appearances by a former Buffalo Bill.
There you go.
But I think he's about a third of the way there.
All right.
Go